What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me on Twitter after a rough night last night. The BetMGM offer is available above me on the YouTube video, BettingPros YouTube. It's a $10 bet, $150 with that promo code Juice150 with a new account from BetMGM. So the Lightning, man, they lose 3-2, and we put the full unit down on that. So that kind of put us literally behind the eight ball and pretty much into a dead night. But the Red Sox are up 4-2 into the top of the ninth inning here. So we'll see if the Red Sox hold on for the run line. That was a plus 115 bet coming back on that side. So it's a losing night, but not that bad if we get the plus 115, half a unit play on the Red Sox to come in. So 4-2, it's skin of our teeth. Can't give up a single run in the ninth inning, or if they score more runs here, maybe they blow it open in the ninth. But looks like a 1-1 night, but down the 0.4 or so due to the fact that we had that full unit bet going on the Lightning. Frustration. The Rangers are a very good hockey team. I don't know what to make of the Lightning, to be quite honest. That Vasilevsky stat now 17-0 after a loss goes to 17-1. They scored a goal in the first 3 minutes, and then they didn't get anything else. So my hockey bets have not been great. So I'm going to go a little exotic today with hockey. It is a Saturday with a big fight in Australia and a UFC card to get into. So I've got a boxing bet, I've got a UFC bet, and I've got a hockey bet for you guys coming up here today. So let's start with hockey. And I haven't been good in hockey. There's a couple different ways you can do this. And I was really good. I was due to cool off. I was really hitting my hockey bets consistently. But you can bet the over in this game if you want. You also can bet over 1.5 goals in the first period if you want. So it's minus 190 for over 1.5 goals. The anticipation is that these teams are going to come out flying, that Edmonton's going to have a ton of jump, and they're going to ride the home crowd right out of the gates. You can bet Edmonton three-way, which is if it ties, if it's 1-1, you lose. That's plus 185, okay? Not bad. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take Edmonton to be leading after the first period at even money. Now, if it's tied, I push. So 1-1 is no foul. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of an out there. If you bet the three-way, though, if it ties, you lose. But the three-way, if you believe it's a 1-0 or 2-1 lead for Edmonton, you got yourself a win, and it's a plus 185 wager. So it just depends on how much you want to get after it, how risk tolerance you want to get into it. I think the safer play, the more likely play, is to keep the tie in order, and that Edmonton comes out and they lead 1-0, 2-1, or it's tied and we push. The over 1.5 goals is at minus 190 is insane. I'm hoping for 1-0. That's what I'm hoping for. Edmonton just scores first. They lead 1-0. We win this after one. It's essentially a one-period hockey bet for us. I lean towards the over. I will look to live bet this. If Edmonton's going to win a game, it's going to be tonight. Do I think they win a game tonight? I don't know. A part of me says no. A part of me says it's a total mismatch, even with the new barn and their crowd and Canada and everything else. It looks like a total mismatch. But if Edmonton's going to get a game, this is the game tonight they're going to get. Half a unit, even money, Edmonton to lead, not a three-way bet. Tie is a push, okay? Tie is a push, even money, half a unit, Edmonton to lead after one period up against the Colorado Avalanche coming up here tonight in the Western Conference Finals. Okay, let's go to combat sports. So Devin Haney is a fighter who I have watched for a while now. He's 23 years old. He is fighting George Kambosos Jr. for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. This fight is in Australia, okay? The total rounds in this fight is set at 10.5. It's minus 390 to the over, okay? Give you an idea of where we are. Haney is the better fighter. Devin Haney he's taken a lot of grief, okay? He's been a guy that's been ridiculed and laughed at, and people have said the Kambosos win over Teofimo Lopez was a little bit shocking, that Lopez didn't take it seriously, and that Jorge Linares really hurt Devin Haney, rattled him a bit, and now you got the home field advantage in Australia. I'm not loving the fact that I'm going to have to go to the cards. Okay, I'm going to be totally honest here. I'm going to need Devin Haney to just absolutely overwhelm George Kambosos Jr. with his ability to throw the jab. I need him to be behind the jab the entire fight. Point. That's what I'm going to need here for this fight. But Devin Haney by decision is even money. And I think it's the better way of betting this fight. I know it's dangerous. I hate that I have to go to boxing judges. And by going to boxing judges in Australia with an Australian fighter, I'm walking myself into it. But there's more money in America and there's more money in boxing with Devin Haney having these belts. So, I mean, Kambosos is going to have to come at him and hit him really hard. A lot of overwhelming him with combinations. Going to have to hurt him with his power. And I think Kambosos is going to have to knock him out because I don't think if this fight goes to the cards, I think it could be like a 9-3 type of domination that Haney, a buddy of mine who's a big boxing guy here in town, said it's not going to stun me if Haney doesn't blank him just totally every round. Like it's not even a competitive fight that Devin Haney finally gets his moment in the sun to show off. And even the judges, they won't be able to steal it from Devin Haney. Haney over Kambosos, half a unit, even money by decision is what we're jumping in here with for a boxing fight happening in Australia. I believe the fight, though, is going to happen at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So I think that fight, check your local listings, but I think that fight's going to be normal time. It's going to be over in Australia, but I think it's going to be in the middle of the day in Australia. So nighttime for us for that to happen. Okay. And then I've got one other fight. It is Volkov versus Rosenstrike. It is the main event for UFC fight night here in Vegas. Drago against Biggie Boy. Look, Volkov's a weird dude. Okay. Volkov's average fight time is, or his average fight time is 14:26. Okay, this is a 5-round main event fight. 14:26. Rosenstrike 9:30. Okay. Rosenstrike is a big dude, but Volkov's 6'7", 250 pounds. This might be like big boy timber falls hard. Okay. But because it's a 5-round fight, because it's heavyweights, I think Rosenstrike knocks him out. I think Rosenstrike will knock out Volkov. But because I'm going even money on the first 2 bets tonight, I thought it might be a little bit more conservative. And the fight to not go the distance is -150. So just don't go to the cards. If it goes to the cards, could be a problem. In terms of what Volkov has done, he had an armbar submission in his last fight, which was a loss. His last 2 fights before that were both unanimous decisions. He went 3 rounds and 5 rounds. He went Serial Gone. He went 5 rounds with Serial Gone and lost by the decision. Don't love that, okay? He went with Blades to a decision. Greg Hardy went to a decision. It's a 5-round and a 3-round fight, okay? Volkov is just, he will do this. He will have these fights that will go 5 rounds. That's not what happens with Rosenstrike, though. Even though his last fight against Blades did go to a decision, a 3-rounder. With Gone, too. Gone went to a decision, too. But he had a knockout victory in his fight before that. Knockout victory, fight before that. 2 rounds, 1 round for that to be ending. So I'm hoping that we get this thing where the fight does not go to the distance. I'm not sure who wins because it's a heavyweight fight and weird things happen in heavyweight fights. I think Rosenstrike does wind up winning this fight, gets a knockout, but I'm just going to bet half a unit on the fight to end before the cards. The fight will not go the distance. The answer is no. Will the fight go the distance? No. Okay. 3 bets, half a unit on each play here on a Saturday. We're going Edmonton to be leading after 1 period up against the Colorado Avalanche. Even money, half a unit. Devin Haney by decision over George Kambosos. Even money. And the fight not to go the distance, main event for UFC Fight Night here in Vegas. Rosenstrike against Volkov. The fight will not go the distance, half a unit at -150. Those are the 3 bets for us on a Saturday. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. If I add any baseball or anything else I want to jump in on, I'll let you guys know here on a Saturday. But let's have some fun. Let's cash some tickets. I'll be back on a Sunday. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's Daily Juice Podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.